The last time you coded rectangle and square classes and instantiated these classes, your own classes. After instantiation, you could assign values to the object field and you called functions. However, it is also possible to define certain details of the object during instantiation. This is done by a special procedure called konstruktor. Remember the instantiation. Rectangle, space, rectangle, equal sign, new rectangle. After the new, you you need to type the constructor of the class rectangle. In Java, class constructor and the class have the same name. The question is, if you haven't defined constructor in your class, how it is possible to call? The answer is that the Java compiler inserted or inserts a constructor in your class. So, if you don't specify a class constructor, even then the Java compiler adds one, but this constructor has no parameters. Now you learn how to code your own constructor, but if you code an own constructor, Java compiler won't add one, realizing that you did. Let's see how you can code a constructor with parameters that will be assigned to the field of your class. As you may notice, the constructor name and the class name are the same. The constructor now has two parameters, width and height. Of course, we could have given them different names, not just height or width. Keyword. This means that the length this keyword. So keyword this means that the length and the width fields must be equal to the parameters. If you don't write this, the compiler cannot be sure that which one is the field of the class and which one is the parameter. How to instantiate this? Here is the solution: rectangle, rectangle, new rectangle, 10 and 20. Previously it was rectangle, rectangle, new rectangle, and in parentheses there was no argument. The two functions that we call with the same name can be called as before: functions named in object-oriented programming methods. Method, function. Of course, you might say what happens to the other two variables x and y. It is necessary to assign values to them, isn't it? That is why we need to write a constructor with 4 parameters. Let's look at the 4 parameter. Thus this 4 parameter constructor gets y, x and y as well. Here's the constructor that creates your rectangle object. The question is, how does Java choose between constructors with the same name? The answer is the number of parameters. If they are the same, then it tries to decide according to the type of the parameters. Therefore, if you want a constructor that has only x and y parameters, type this. won't work because it has two parameters like the previous one that assigns values to width and height. If you insist this constructor, you need to change the type of the parameters, at least one. For example, your task is to write constructors for class square. At least two, please. Then try to instantiate class square.